I'm very excited today because I finally laid hands on something I've been looking for 12 years. Back in 2008 I did a mashup video, Star Trek Voyager vs. Baywatch. A YouTuber named Fanboy Films said that she had been directed there by SFX Magazine. What the heck is SFX Magazine? It's a British magazine that discussed sci-fi in TV and film. I wanted to see what they had to say about me, but back then I didn't have much of a way to track it down. I was going through old comments recently and I came across it again and I thought I should try to take another crack at finding it. I didn't see any websites hosting old issues of magazines and I couldn't even find a torrent for it. I thought if nothing else I could just start buying old issues off eBay. I didn't have the date that Fanboy left the comment, but my video came out in March of 2008, so I thought I would start in April and I would just start collecting all the issues for the year after that, and eventually I would find the reference. When I got the first magazine, I didn't even know where to start looking. Maybe in a letter to the editor? Surely not in a review. And then I found out that each issue of SFX Magazine has a feature called Video Link, where they feature odd things they found on YouTube or other video hosting sites. It took me several issues, but finally I found mine. X-Files. I'm in good company. They didn't even mention Fanboy Films by name, those scoundrels. But they posted a link to the video, which still works. It's got Kate Mulgrew running in slow motion. They stole my line. Anyway, it was nice to finally see Fanboy Films get some love from the mainstream media. Haven't seen any since then. Unless you count... That's right, I was the first one to suggest an honest trailer for Green Lantern. Since my last debrief, I also posted a video for an old song mashup, The Look of a Lass. A not entirely successful mashup that I created for a Valentine's Day mix CD. I had a video version of it half done several years ago, so I decided to finally finish it. Speaking of unfinished projects, I actually finished Star Battle 2 several years ago. It was just about a year after the first one was finished, which I think was 6 years ago. The only thing I hadn't done on it was a final audio mix. So I really should finish that up and get it out there. A couple weeks ago, somebody said there ought to be a lyric video for Ice Under Pressure, so I thought maybe I should do it. Only I did it in the style of a karaoke video, where it scrubs through the words as it goes. Because I used to do a lot of karaoke. And that's actually how I met Mrs. E-Rock. As I looked through various lyric sites to make sure I had the spelling of everything correct, there seemed to be some confusion about certain slang words that Vanilla Ice used in his song. So I consulted Urban Dictionary and a lot of other places on Google. And then I thought maybe I should actually include some of these definitions in the bottom, for non-English speakers or just people that aren't streetwise like myself. Another project that's been eating up a few odd hours here and there is something I've started to call the Tom Snyder Project, or the Tom Snyder Collection. As I was working on the late night saga Three's a Crowd, I was helped by a lot of episode guides for Johnny Carson and David Letterman, but there didn't seem to be a fully comprehensive guide for The Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. At least not one that listed all the air dates and all the guests that appeared. The closest I found was a website called TV.com, which is about 70% complete. I started looking at other websites, and I started looking at newspaper archives online for old TV listings. I even went to my local library and looked through the microfilm of old newspapers to find the TV listings. I'm trying to create a complete archive of episode dates and guest stars. I also noticed that while Carson and Letterman's shows are archived and maintained, I don't think there's any archive for The Tomorrow Show with Tom Snyder. I don't think it's running anywhere on cable or streaming. Only a handful of DVDs have ever been officially released, and there's a few bootleg DVDs floating around. I downloaded everything I could find on YouTube, and other off-site sources like Dailymotion or Vimeo. I wanted to collect everything that was out there because these videos often get taken down. By my calculations, we only have about 4% of The Tomorrow Show available to view. I thought when or if I ever complete this project, I would try to put together a website that would have the episode guide and all the guest stars listed, and hopefully would have links pointing to wherever those videos are available to watch currently. I read an article once that said that after Letterman took over Tom Snyder's time slot on NBC, that some executive wanted The Tomorrow Show's tapes to all be wiped, but Letterman wouldn't allow them. I guess Letterman must have been successful because I've seen clips from The Tomorrow Show appear in documentaries and on DVD special features. But I don't know if NBC has any plans for the show. Until then, we only have the contributions of those armchair warriors who recorded shows off of TV in the 70s and 80s and then hung onto the tapes long enough for YouTube to be invented so they could share them with the world. So thank you to all the video preservationists out there, and see you next time.